Hello students, I'm Sanjana Kavati, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, AITM, Belgavi. In this video, we shall study execution of a complete instruction. In the previous video, we have seen the operations that are to be performed in sequence in order to execute an instruction. Let us quickly revise those. First is transfer a word of data from one processor register to another or to the ALU. Then perform an arithmetic or a logic operation and store the result in a processor register. Next is fetch the contents of a given memory location and load them into a processor register, and also store a word of data from processor register into a given memory location. All these four steps we have studied in detail. Now let us put together the sequence of these elementary operations that are required to execute one instruction. Let us consider the instruction add R3, R1. The instruction is add R3 into bracket, R1. This instruction adds the contents of memory location pointed to by register R3 to register R1. Okay, so executing this instruction requires the following actions to be taken. First is fetch the instruction. Next step is fetch the operand. Okay, that is here in this case it is nothing but the contents of the memory location pointed to by register R3. Third step is perform the addition. Last one is load the result into R1. So these are the four steps that will be done or that will be taken place in order to execute an instruction. So from exam point of view also, this topic is very important. This question will be asked almost in every exam. So it is a very important question. So please concentrate. So these four actions can be written in the form of sequence of control steps as follows. You can see in this figure, it is figure number 7.6 from the textbook. It is control sequence of execution of the instruction, that is add R3 into bracket, R1. Okay, so this figure gives the sequence of control steps that are required to perform these operations. Operations are nothing but fetching the instruction, then fetching the first operand, and then perform the addition or depending on the operation. Okay, so and then last one is load the result into R1. That is nothing but loading the result into either register or it may be a memory location also. So in this case it is register. Now let us understand these steps in detail. You can see first step is PC out, MAR in, read, select 4, add and Z in. Second step is Z out, PC in, Y in, WMFC. Third step is MDR out, IR in. Fourth step is R3 out, MAR in, read. Fifth step is R1 out, Y in, WMFC. Sixth step is MDR out, select Y, add, Z in. Seventh step is Z out, R1 in and end. Let us understand these steps in detail. In first step, okay, so the instruction fetch operation will be initiated by loading the contents of the PC into MAR and also sending a read request to the memory. First step is what I have to fetch the instruction. In order to fetch the instruction, what I should do, see, always PC will be pointing to the next instruction to be executed. Okay, so in that case what I will be doing is so this fetch operation will be initiated by loading the contents of the PC into the MAR. That means the where PC is pointing, that is pointing to the instruction that is going to be executed next. So here in this case, this is an instruction that is going to be executed. So for that reason, I will load the address where PC is pointing. That address I'm going to load into MAR. What is MAR? It is memory address register. Okay, and I'm just loading the address and then I have to read the instruction. So for that what I will do, I will send a read request to the memory. Okay, so and again what I have to do, the select signal will be set to select 4. This causes the multiplexer mux to select the constant 4. Why constant 4 here? Because the PC is incremented by value 4. Value 4 is nothing but we have considered the size of a size of an instruction is to be one word. So one word consists of 4 bytes. Okay, so the next address where the PC should point is after 4 bytes. So for that reason, we will make the multiplexer to select constant 4. Okay, to select constant 4, we have to set the select signal of the multiplexer to select 4. Okay, so this will make the multiplexer to select constant 4. Okay, and then this value is added to the operand at input B. Okay, this input B is nothing but the contents of the PC, and then the result will be stored into register Z. Okay, so what I've done here is just I've loaded the address that was pointed by PC into MAR. Okay, and generated a read signal. Okay, so this is one operand I have got. Next is what I have to next what is the function of PC? It will just keep on pointing to the next instruction to be executed. So once I have pointed once the PC is pointed to some memory location, from that memory location I'm going to fetch the instruction, and then next what I have to do, I have to make the PC point to the next instruction to be executed. Okay, so in order to move the PC from one value to another, what I have to do, I have to increment the PC value. Increment by how much? It is nothing but the size of the instruction. So in this throughout this textbook, it is considered to be 4 bytes. So for that reason, I will add 4 bytes to the previous address, which will give me the address of the next instruction. So for that address, the PC will be pointed to. So how I'm going to select this value 4? That is by setting select signal of the multiplexer to select 4, and then add these two values, that is the previous address plus constant 4. The result will be loaded into register Z. Okay, so this updated value is moved then from register Z back into the PC during step 2, because the next operation has to be done now. So for that reason, this Z value will be copied to PC in the next instruction, that is step 2. Okay, okay, in the you can see the step 2, it is Z out comma PC in comma Y in comma WMFC. In this, what will happen, the updated value of Z updated value from the register Z is moved to PC. Okay, also while waiting for the memory to respond. WMFC is what we have seen in the previous video. It is nothing but wait for memory function to complete. What is memory function here? That is read. Read was the memory function here. So it will move this value to PC and while waiting for the acknowledgement from the memory, that is waiting for the WMFC signal. Okay, so next coming to step 3. Step 3 is what? It is MDR out comma IRN. Okay, so the word that is fetched from the memory is loaded into the IR. Okay, so whatever data will be stored in the MDR register, so that value will be moved to IR. What is IR? It is nothing but the instruction register. What is the function of IR? It is going to store the instruction that is going to be currently executed. So that instruction will be stored in the IR. So MDR out, what is the data now? Data is nothing but it is the entire instruction now. So this entire instruction is going to be moved into IR. Okay, hope you are understanding. Now from step 1 through step 3, these constitute the instruction fetch phase. It is only fetching of the instruction. So we have not yet done anything. I mean, like, only the instruction is fetched. We have not yet done any operation about the execution. Okay, it is only fetched. Okay, so this step 1 through step 3 will constitute the instruction fetch phase, which will be same for all the instructions, because the same thing will be happening. We are going to I mean, like, the contents of PC will be loaded into MAR, and then we are going to read that particular data, which is nothing but the instruction, and then move the value of PC from to the next location by adding the value 4. Okay, and then we are going to move that new updated address to the PC again, wait for the memory to respond, and then store the data, that is nothing but the instruction, into IR. Okay, so this is going to be common for all the instruction. Next, coming to step 4, the instruction decoding circuit will interpret the contents of the IR at the beginning of the step 4. So what is step 4? It is R3 out, MAR in, read. So this is going to enable the control circuitry to activate the control signals for the remaining steps, that is from step 4 through step 7, okay, which is going to constitute the execution phase. First 3 steps will constitute fetch phase. Next remaining 4 steps will constitute the execution phase. Okay, so in step 4, the contents of register R3 will be transferred, or these are transferred to register MAR. Okay, so in this step 4, contents of register R3 is going to be transferred to MAR, and then a memory read operation will be initiated. Okay, so then the contents of R1 are going to be transferred to register Y in the step 5 in order to prepare for the addition operation. So now we have got the two operands, okay, R3, contents of R3 and R1. So when the read operation is completed, the memory operand will be available in the register MDR, that is memory data register, and then we can initiate the addition operation which is performed in the step 6. Okay, so what is step 6? It is MDR out, select Y, then add and store the result in ZIN. Okay, see, in step 4 what is going to happen? R3 or the contents R3 is going to be copied into MAR, and then read signal is generated. So at that time the contents of MAR is nothing but the data itself. Okay, so and then in step 5, R1 out, Y, and this R1 is going to be stored into register Y. Okay, and in step 6 we are going to perform the addition operation, that is by MDR out is nothing but the contents of R3, and select Y is nothing but R1 because R1 is copied to Y, and then perform addition and store the result in ZIN, that is nothing but MDR out, select Y, add, ZIN. MDR out is one input, select Y is another input, perform the addition, store the result in ZIN. Okay. Also make a note of it that the contents of MDR are gated to the bus, and thus also the B input of the ALU and register Y is selected as the second input to the ALU by choosing the select Y. You know that how arithmetic or logic operation is performed at the ALU. You can just refer to that particular diagram, you will understand it. Okay, so then the sum is going to be stored in register Z, and then it is going to be again transferred back to R1 in step 7. Okay, Z out, R1 in, and then end. Okay, so the contents of Z are again going to be transferred back to R1. And also notice that the end signal causes a new instruction fetch cycle to begin by returning to step 1. So whenever you write a end statement, what it will do, it will initiate the execution of next instruction again. So the control will be again pointing to step 1, and it will start a fetch phase of new instruction. Okay, so this all the discussion, this accounts for all the control signals in the figure, in the sequence of steps, except for Y in step 2. Okay, so there is no need to copy the updated contents of PC into register Y while executing the add instruction. Okay, so we are not copying out the updated value of PC again. Okay, but in branch instruction the updated value of PC is needed to compute the branch target address. Okay, so to speed up the execution of the branch instructions, this value is going to be copied into register Y in step 2, so that one change will be there. So since step 2 is part of the fetch phase itself, the same action will be performed for all the instruction, for all the branch instruction the same step or same action will be performed. So this is not the this will not cause any harm because the register Y is not used for any other purpose at that time. So register Y alone is used for this purpose only. It is not going to be used for any other thing, so that it is not going to interrupt, or it is not going to harm any other action here. Okay, so this is about execution of a complete instruction, a very important concept. Again, please understand it clearly. Thank you for watching.